Hey everybody, this is Killer Arcade Games. I'm Chris, and no, I'm not in my normal CAG shirt. Today I'm in a dirty, lazy shirt. Don't mind that. Today we're here to talk about what I did to the Killer Instinct 2 cabinet. Now, it was way too hot to even consider recording the whole process. But I did record some clips, and I thought I'd just kind of go over the cabinet, and I'll insert the clips as we go. So let me flip you around and show you the finished product, or the finished project of Killer Instinct 2. Well, you guys might remember this cabinet was originally destined to become a MAME cabinet, and I was going to pull the PCB from it and put it on a switcher in KI1 and make this a general MAME cabinet. Well, I liked it so much after I finished it and actually started to like playing it that I decided it's going to stay a KI2 dedicated cabinet, and I'll have to come up with another plan, which I think I already have a plan, but anyway. Let's start up here at the top. This cabinet had a pretty terribly burned marquee, a very dirty glass, or the glass was extremely dirty there. When I got this cabinet, the guy who sold it to me for only $800 said, oh, it needs a new sound card. It needs a new sound card. The sound doesn't work. And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't say anything. It's like, I know it doesn't have a sound card. Sure enough, a little bit of investigation revealed when I took this off that the wires for the speakers were just completely miswired. A real mess. I don't know how they managed to do it, but I got that fixed, got it hooked up, and then I realized the speakers that were in it were not only junk, but they were unshielded speakers. And I didn't realize they were unshielded until I actually ordered another pair of unshielded speakers, not thinking about it. And sure enough, I had a little discoloration in the middle of the screen there, and yeah. Anyway, so there's now a fresh pair of shielded speakers in here. I'm going to try to remember to leave a link to those speakers because they were kind of hard to find. And yeah, they're from Parts Express. Thank you to JoJo and everyone else who helped me out with that. Moving down, when I got the cabinet also, this screen was a blown out, washed out mess. I may have a video to overlay. If not, take my word for it. It was terrible. And all it needed was one resistor. That was it. A resistor had gone out on something. And once I replaced it, it looked just about like this. I mean, I've done a lot of tweaks to it to make it look this good, but that's all I had to do. It was great. So I was already coming out ahead, I think. The left side of the cabinet's art looked pretty solid, still does now. It is still original. I'm starting to regret not replacing at least one side, and I'll show you that in a second, but let's keep moving here. The side boxes were really torn up. I ended up replacing the Nintendo logo on this. That took a lot of sanding. It took a lot of time sanding off the old stuff, taking out all the components and everything. But once I got it all sanded and got it like butter smooth using 320 grit, thanks again to JoJo for messaging me and telling me how to do that. Get it down to 320 grit, it was like butter smooth, and now it's on here. I don't know what the heck this is. Oh, there's just something on the cabinet. Okay, anyway, I also had to go and paint the front of this cabinet. It was not too bad, it was just ugly. And again, the person who owned it before me decided that this wasn't staying on as well as he wanted it to, and I understand that because that happens. I honestly thought the channel for the T-molding was worn out or something. My original KI kind of has that problem. But no, it was just that the T-molding was separating from the rib that goes inside of there. So he had a staple in here, he had a screw it down in this one, and that's all it was. So this is all new T-molding. Everything came out nicely. This is the original front box art, even though I ordered box art. I just ended up, touching up a few spots with some Sharpie because I wanted to keep it as original as possible. I did not sand the front. Some of this is etched from the stickers that were there, and I have two lights on order for that. I did not have them on me. They're coming in soon. But the front of the cabinet's looking pretty solid. I'm pretty happy with it. And I glossed over this, but this is actually quite a story. This is the original deck art. My plan was to replace it. I ordered a replacement deck art for 50 bucks from XL Arcade. And once it got here, it was really hot when we were trying to apply it, and it just went totally south. The art just crumpled up, got stuck on there, tried to fix it a couple times. Eventually, I had to just realize that I was gonna lose 50 bucks and throw it away, and that's exactly what happened. So what I did for now was actually just, again, this is not very pretty, but touched up the little bits. There was just some art that had kind of come off down here. And it's not terribly easy to tell. I mean, if you're really checking it out when the lights are dim in here, you're gonna see it. But a lot of this work was a kind of like for now thing because I wanted to get it done. I might eventually replace it. That's the worst spot by far. I may eventually replace it, just not right now. I'm not that worried about it. Brand new buttons and sticks, new screws. These are all brand new. If you need some of those, I'll link to those in the description as well. Sanded down all of this stuff, repainted it. It's all looking really good. This is actually a new instructions card that also came from XL Arcade. My original one was all bubbled up and ruined. He did send a replacement, one of these, and yes, this one probably should be replaced, but the replacement didn't look quite as good as this. It was a little more squished, so I just left it. I figured, hey, it's not perfect. It's definitely not perfect, but I want to keep it as original as possible, so I still have the replacement. If this ever bothers me too badly, I'll peel it off and put a new one on. Now let's look at the other side of the cabinet. I'm now facing the right side of the cabinet. This is by far the worst side. This is the one that truly needs new art, primarily just because of this spot. I don't know what happened here. It's like somebody rubbed the cabinet raw right there, or something did. There's a few nicks and scratches, things that I could live with, but the boob rub and the ridiculous scratches there are bothering me. I also replaced that Nintendo logo there. Well, Lady Cag did it for me, but yeah, we got that done. I don't know, one of these days, I might order at least one. Well, I think you have to order as a pair anyway. I may get one piece of side art just to replace one side of it and see if it looks okay. If not, I may have to replace them both. So now looking in the back of the cabinet, you'll see it is still, oh, it's a little dusty on camera. Wow, I don't see that with the naked eye as well. But anyway, a little dusty still. We can get that cleaned up later. Still has the original hard drive. I'm leaving it a hard drive until I have to change it. But today I actually installed a new fan. Same size fan. This thing blows a ton of air. The original fan had ruined bearings. It was really bad. The whole cabinet was like vibrating because of it. But yeah, that was it. Just had to replace the fan. I will link to this fan as well. So far it's worked out nicely. It also came with these little clips here where I just snipped the original one. It did not matter polarity wise or whatever, so I can just plug in either side of the fan to positive or negative, and it just works. Pumps a ton of air. It's a little noisy, but it is truly moving a lot of air. So that's really it for the Killer Instinct 2. I don't want to call it a restoration, because if I didn't do the side art, didn't replace everything, I'm going to call it a fix-up and repair. And I truly didn't think I was that into the game, but I'm starting to get into it, as I mentioned, so maybe eventually I'll put more love into the cabinet. But for now, it looks good, especially when it gets pushed in the row with Killer Instinct and MK4 there. Everything's looking nice. Hopefully everything continues to work as well as it is on there. I've been enjoying it for about a week now before I made this video. But so far everything's good to go. I hope you found this video helpful, at the very least informative, especially if you need to replace the fan. I am probably going to replace my fan in my San Francisco Rush cabinet because it has the same problem. It's incredibly loud. It vibrates the whole cabinet, and when I do that, I might make a video on it, because I really struggled to find the right fan for this. I struggled to figure out how to hook it up. I was like, what's positive, what's negative? Am I gonna blow up the fan if I plug it in wrong? Once I got the fan, I read the instructions. It says it does not matter, so that was good. I tested it just to be sure by unplugging the JAMA and the monitor. If this thing's gonna blow, I didn't want it blowing up the really important stuff, but everything was good to go. So I'll link to all that stuff in the description. Thank you guys again for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new for more arcade content. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of the Killer Instinct 2 cabinet, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.